Yo, in this video we will go through the entire build of my map on Blankos. I did a 3.5-hour live stream building this map, and now I have removed a small portion of it, increased the speed 8 times so we can watch the entire thing in 23 minutes to experience how it is to build a map on Blankos. And if you like this kind of content, comment below, subscribe and share this video. Now let's dig in. Okay, here we go. So the start here, just name the map and then we get started. In the start you have this platform where you can actually move it and things. What I'm doing now is I'm editing it. I'm trying to change some colors, trying to change the size. The sizing did not go as I wanted. As I said before, this is 8 times speed. And when we look at this right now, what I'm trying to do is I have placed 3 to make it a little bit larger so you can actually run, and now I want to build a high wall at the end, so we have to climb upwards, and when we climb there will be some nice obstacles, and placing these objects is not easy in the start. You have to rotate, you have to twist, you have to learn. In the bottom left corner you will see all the commands, all the hotkeys that you can use to do this, and I had to learn that okay, it's not the blue marker around it that I need to focus on, but the whole object is blue if it's above the ground, and I can't see it if it's below inside something else, which is very good to learn. And then I finally place it and then place another one, and well, you can also I make it better later when I learn how to swap between how you attach them to other objects, how they how they get stuck on other things and such things. So this is me trying to rotate, and I'm trying to figure out, wanted to place it in the middle, it didn't really work. I'm trying to build a pathway here. So yeah, and right now I've learned that here I should have cycled to a different kind of snapping point, so it snapped together. I didn't know that at the time, so this is a process that would be faster for me next time I do it. But it is kind of difficult to learn this. I'm pushing it away from me, getting it together, closer to myself, and I'm trying to figure out how I should be doing this. I'm flying around. So far nothing is really strange. I just built forward, up, forward. I'm going to the inventory, trying to figure out the small things, and here I'm testing to see if the obstacle actually work, if I have to place it a little bit closer. And here I had a good idea that okay, I wanted to be able to jump, and how can I measure so I'm sure it can work. Okay, if I just if I place 3 of them, I remove the middle one, then I know that I can jump. So I kept doing this to keep going forward and keep going this like jumping path that I wanted to do. And here I wanted to go a bit sideways, so I place them and then I remove the ones that I don't want. And here I will start to change the height that you have to jump, so we create a new kind of obstacle. And here I'm trying to do the obstacle to see if it works. And I'm just moving around, testing, trying out. This is a process that takes time, that you actually have to test things, making sure that it works properly. And currently I'm failing 100 times, but I know that it should work, so I kept going at it, and finally it did. And this is something that I had to do a lot when we go to the wall later. I had to figure out that it actually worked. Here in the setting I can choose different kind of game maps, and I'm trying to understand why I can't change it to a trial run that I want. I can only choose none or shooting. That was because to get a trial run I had to place a start and an end, and to make it into a vibe run where you go and collect these vibes, these lights, bolts of lighting, then you actually had to place them on the map and then it appears here. I didn't know that, so I was a lot of time in the settings trying to figure this out, and I was chatting on Telegram, writing to Drew, telling him that it was his fault that I couldn't manage this, when in reality I just had no idea what I was doing. But this is going well, and I'm trying to make a map in my head that is supposed to be a little bit difficult, so it's not the starter map. It's supposed to be for those that want a little bit of a challenge, something to grow with, learn more about the game, because personally I like games that has some kind of a challenge with it. I don't want it to be too basic, too simple. And now I'm just trying to figure out how long apart I should place things, how I should try to make this work. And I place it at an angle because that is like, if you get there in the correct way, it will be you can run easily. If not, you will start to slide and it will be hard to control it, but you will see later when I actually try it. And I just continue building around the map, well, around the tower, and when you see that I'm running, that is when I'm actually testing something, and now I'm trying to turn things around as much as I can, making sure that it actually operates properly. And when I'm testing this, I just change the snap points to grid, and I'm seeing, okay, is this possible? Yeah, I can jump there, it's all good. And I keep doing this, and you can see that I can turn them on different angles, so I can like there's a ring in the middle here when you see it's blue, and I can rotate them, and sometimes I have issues with it because I forgot how you actually do this the best way. But yeah, so I'm trying to get it straight. Perhaps there's a way better way to do this, but I didn't know, so I'm just moving around trying to figure this out, trying to make sure that I can actually do the obstacles that I'm pushing out, and or if I have to change something. And here you can see that I'm jumping, I'm doing this, and each time you see the balloon here, I'm actually trying this obstacle again because I am convinced that I could get up, which I could, and I keep doing the same thing. Each time I'm falling, I'm just pressing the button that I can, the fly mode, and I go back to the obstacle and I see if I can actually manage it, and I could there, so I go on and I build the next obstacle. This is just to make sure that each step that I do, I know that it's possible. You can get around the obstacle, you can do it, and it's supposed to be a bit difficult because that's how I want it. I don't want the game to be too simple, as I said before. So here I'm building a lot of stuff directly, and I'm trying to do the jumping and seeing, is this possible? And I figured out nope. So I have to change a little bit, move it a tiny bit, I move it down, and then I notice, oh well, it's too easy or too hard, and then I keep moving it a bit and trying to make it perfect, because I want it to be that you can actually make it, but you should have like a risk of failing, because if it's just simple, then it's the same as if you have ever played other games like World of Warcraft. When it came, it was very difficult, you had to struggle everywhere, and then suddenly nowadays you can just run around and you never die in the beginning. It's all about the end game. Well, that's why WoW Classic came and everything. So here I'm trying to build something where you are supposed to jump upwards, like you go wall jump, and well, it was difficult for me to actually place this correctly so it worked, so I had to do this a lot of times, and I have kept failing, but that's all of the process. Just doing this one step at a time, moving fast, and going up. So this is a lot of going back, going forward, and trying to figure it out, and as soon as I feel, okay, this is possible, then I can move on to the next step. Yeah, so here I'm actually gonna do something fun here. So here you have to actually jump around to get to it and make sure, and what happens here is that you actually start to slide here, so it's actually kind of difficult to stop on that other side. And if you never have played this map, you will probably have a difficult time understanding how you should get up to the next level, because it's not obvious. But if you actually took some time in the start and looked at the map, you will know that, okay, there is this ladder here, you're supposed to climb on this ladder to get up. But the wall is actually sliding, so it's actually kind of difficult to get up this ladder. It looks way easier than it is. But yeah, it's totally manageable. It was not the most difficult part of the map. But anyway, if you actually go to this place and you die, it will be very frustrating, because you will have to go down, and you will have to go down quite far later when I have actually put up this these markers where you actually, if you pass the marker, you will be able to come back to that place if you fall outside of the map. So here I'm placing some of these vibes just to see if I can actually collect them, and like everything is new, so I wanted to do this. I probably should have done this later, but I also wanted to test if, okay, can I pick them up? Does it work? Can I place them a little bit evil? Can I make it a little bit harder for people? Because this run is all about collecting as many of these vibes as possible, these lights, and when you do that, you also have to finish the map in as short time as possible, And here I'm failing on an object that is very easy, but currently it was very hard to do. And I keep falling down, and I'm trying to figure this out and trying to do it one step at a time. Also, I noticed there is like a button that you can restart from where you were last time, but it didn't really work. I always came back to the wrong place when I find it later. I came back to the start of the map instead of where I wanted to go. And right now it's even nighttime, and that is a setting that you can turn off so the time does not change. And so there you can see I have the vibe setting now, so now I knew, okay, you need to place it, and then I figure out, oh, probably if you want to speed run you have to also have a finish line in the end, so you know that it actually works. And now I'm trying the objects again, see if, okay, is this possible, can I actually get this done? And yeah, so I go up and I continue with the next step. So currently this is pretty much 1.5 hours into the build, and now I'm just testing ideas, and I'm having a hard time rotating this as I want. For some reason I didn't figure out how I could do it, and sometimes I did figure it out and sometimes I failed to, but it is one of these buttons in the rotation one, and I'm not gonna say which because I always press the wrong one, but I'm trying to do something fun, and you can do it smoothly. And you see when you rotate there is this ring that shows which angle you're actually rotating, and that ring, if you look closely at that, you will also see that it is jumping through hoops or it is actually going around smooth. So you will learn how that works. And I'm creating 2 paths here, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, can I make some path, can I hide some of these vibes so anyone that has played this a bit will be able to find them more easily. So I keep just going around and trying to figure out how to actually make this a little bit harder, a little bit more annoying for players. And as you see, when I try this, I have no abilities, no special things, so I'm just trying this as any player would do, any new player would be able to finish this. However, it's kind of difficult because you need to do a lot of different wall jumps. So now I'm just trying to make, okay, can I make something fun? Can I make something that is like difficult to understand what you're gonna do? But then again, this part of the map, we have passed the hard part, so this is all about speed. So the first climbing is what I made difficult, and now when we go here, so now I just placed a finish line to see if it actually worked with the timeline. But yeah, so this part of the map, I just want everything to go fast. So this is where you actually go to run, to go quickly. I'm placing some cactuses, and I noticed later that I placed them way too close to each other, because when I start they fall out of the floor, you see they fall down. So I had to remove some, move some, and this was a process that I had to redo a lot of times. And I even, after I published it, noticed that I missed 2, so I had to go in and unpublish that, and also I had to move one of the waypoints, I had to move as well. So you see, when I run into a cactus I get knocked, so I'm trying to like make it fun so it goes out and makes it a little bit difficult. You are supposed to run as fast as possible, but you're also supposed to collect these vibes, so I wanted to make it a little bit difficult for anyone. And now you see that I can actually change it, so there's the 4th setting there. You could barely see it when it goes this fast, but that is the time one. You can see in the top side of the screen also that is like a percentage, and that is how much of the resources I can place on the map. The more I place, the more of these percentages go, and when I'm finished, I think I'm around 54-55% if I recall correctly. These green ones that I'm placing is actually boosters, so they make you run faster, and I wanted to place them so anyone that runs will take this boost, and if they work like me, they will actually go and try to go as fast as possible. And when you do, at a certain point you will jump too far because it goes too fast, and you will miss your next platform. So it is to trick people, it is to make it harder. I did, however, go in later after I published this map, went back in, and I removed some of them because I thought that it was too many of them on each platform. And currently when I'm doing this here, you see I'm just going back and forward. It is because I was trying the tab one that says you can go back to a waypoint. I was trying to test the waypoints if they worked, and I never managed to do this in the game, but I managed to do it when it was published, and that is why I went back later and redid a lot of it. So now I'm just trying to figure out the starting point. It's like a sprint at first to get there first. So when you play this multiplayer, there will be up to 12 players. I think that 12 is a lot of players for this in the start because it will be very crowded. Now I'm also changing some design, so I'm making it blue and I'm making it black. But what I'm doing there at the start is I'm making, like, it will be a sprint, so you get first, so you have a chance to get up before everyone else. And here you see that I keep going this. And now I wanted to make a slide, and I wanted to make a fun slide. I didn't want to make it as everyone else. But here again, we're going and we're trying to rotate things. And you can see the circle there in the middle, changing angle, how I'm rotating it, it's going there. You can see there's like now I did it smooth, but there's like a yellow and an orange marking, and depending on how that is, you can make it smooth. That is an indicator if it's smooth or not. So I'm making this kind of tunnel that you have to run in, and we have two paths now, and they will both lead to the same place. And there are different benefits of taking one over the other. I might actually change that in the future to make it even more different. So if you take the side one, you will probably find more vibes, but you will be a little bit slower to the end. So that is the goal by that. So now you go forward, you fall down into this slide, and now I wanted to make the slide even longer, but this was very difficult to place in a good way because I wanted you to slide when you got in there, and you didn't have enough speed, so you only were able to run, and that killed the purpose because it was supposed to make it like a fun slide down to the finish line. So I will soon give up on this pipe because I figured out, okay, it didn't really work. And then I'm making like with this platform instead, and I will make it huge in a second. Here I'm scrolling, yeah, and I'm rotating it down, and I'm placing it and trying to make it work. And placing them like this is actually one of the hardest part for me, because I find that rotating and placing objects in the correct place is very hard. It's hard to see how it goes. You can see that I'm picking things up quite often. And now I'm moving the final platform, and since this is a 10-minute map, I think that when people get good at this, some will finish fast, and then they would have to sit there and wait if they didn't have anything to do. And when I test this later, I played 10 minutes and I didn't even finish the wall because I kept falling at the same place. But this is for those that actually practice this map, that actually played it for a bit, mastered it. They will be able to go here and reach this finish line as fast as possible. And I actually moved it down there and place this like jumping pad, so you have something to do. And also, if you jump down, you will actually get up on this jumping pad. Trying to place these vibes upwards was difficult. It's very difficult to do until I figure out how I can do it smoothly. And here you can actually do some jumping, you can collect some of these vibes, you can do, yeah. So if you finish this map fast, you will also be able to collect way more vibes. So that is the second benefit. The first one is that you get a good time. The second one is that you will get way more vibes than anyone that can't finish this. So it will be very clear if someone is skilled, if someone knows how to control their character. And probably I will have to go back and I will have to try to balance things, because I know there are people that can climb straight up on a wall, and they will probably do that on this map, and that I would have to counter later. This is the starting point where the lobby where you sit and wait before the game starts. So I wanted to make some towers there, something to do so you can enjoy yourself, because in the lobby sometimes in this game you have to sit and wait for a long time. But I keep placing these towers. I didn't want to place them too close to the wall, because if I did place them too close to the wall, then people could just use that and skip the first part and, well, cheat the map that I build. So I'm trying to balance that out. And here I wanted to build some kind of alley with these trees, so you have to run this alley with the fast path there. And I'm like, I feel like that the map is pretty much how I want it. Now I'm just placing all the details, and you have to place each of them one at a time. Just go and place. And I decided to... I felt like the ground was so boring, so I wanted to place some grass as well. And as you can see with this grass, it's one thing at a time, just keep building it. There is probably a better way to do this. I did not know a better way, so I kept doing this, and sometimes you will see that they are actually placed above ground, so I had to start over and I had to remove some or change them, and I had to keep doing this and going. And I kept in my head, should I have grass everywhere? No, I want some holes that are not filled with grass. But then I ended up filling more than I planned to do from the start, because I felt like, well, it feels more like a polished map if it has more grass, more details. But I didn't want to have it 100% covered in grass. It should be a little bit fun there. But I also decided, like, okay, the start, let's make the path where you run filled with grass. But I ended up going forward here and filling the entire place with grass. And to my disjoyment, or whatever I should call it, I actually didn't notice that when I placed this here, as you will see soon, even with this 8x speed, I had to remove. Currently I'm removing them all because they are all above ground. I failed placing them all on the ground, so they are one layer up, and probably I could have done that better if I actually paid attention. But I was trying to place this grass as fast as possible. So I just kept moving it and placing more, and yeah, kept adding some details. And now I wanted to add some like more obstacles, some rocks, trying to figure out, okay, how can I do this? I make them smaller, making like a small place with rocks, and yeah, well, some fun things that you can jump around on if you're finished, and also making it more detailed, making it more fun in the end for anyone that actually managed to get this far. And I'm placing it on rocks, and I'm placing it on top of trees, these vibes, and I'm not even sure that you can reach all of these trees, but I want to give people a challenge. And I think that if you are dedicated, you can reach all of them, because I try to place things so you actually can, but perhaps I failed that in some way. Making this, yeah, like here, I'm placing this like stones, and I think with the help of these stones you can probably jump up on the side of a tree and you can get up on that area. And I kept placing these vibes one at a time everywhere, and see what. And here is actually something I made that is kind of fun. If someone takes the fast path in the middle of the trees, the green one, there will be a lot of people in the end, well, at the wall, so everyone will come there at the same time. So I placed vibes on the side, so if anyone don't want to rush for the beginning, because they know that the difficult part is the wall, so if I just relax a little bit, I will not lose that much time on this map. Then I will actually be able to take the sides instead and earn some more vibes, and I will have an advantage for the rushed people that play like I usually do. I just go, 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 go. If you just take a step back and watch it, then you will see. And here I actually published the map, and it is published, it is done, the map is live, and anyone can go and play this. And I also made a copy of this that is a trial run, so there is a solo map, there is a trial run, one player where you can practice this, and then we have a team map, well, a multiplayer that is 2 to 12 players where you can play this and challenge friends and compete this. And I think this map turned out great, way better than I expected. I didn't expect it to be this great. It was actually very fun, very frustrating to get stuck on these objects when I was playing it. I spent 6 minutes of these 10 minutes on the same object, just falling down, going back up, falling down, going back up. But I get like triggered by that, and I want to go, and I want to pause this, I want to do it because I know it is possible. So I think I will spend a lot of time playing my own map, which is very fun, and I will probably stream it, I will probably do some fun. So if you didn't know, head over to twitch.tv/Anyobservation. My streams of Blankos and other games are found there. I just recently started it, so we can play some together. If I'm live, just join the game and we can have some fun. And let me know what you think about the map. If you test it, let me know what you think about Blankos, and let's have some fun. This is awesome. Peace.